Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Saturday, April 27th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got some Saturday night baseball action for you. The Arizona Diamondbacks versus the Seattle Mariners. First pitch is going to be here in just a couple minutes. I apologize. It took me a little bit later to get going, but let's cue the music and hopefully I can get the starting lineups here before the game starts. Let's go, baby. And on the left, we got Corbin Carroll. On the right, Julio Rodriguez. First with the visiting Arizona Diamondbacks. Leading off for the Diamondbacks, right fielder Jake McCarthy. Batting second, left fielder Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Batting third, second baseman Ketel Marte. Batting fourth, playing first base, Christian Walker. Batting fifth, DHing for Arizona, Jock Peterson. Batting sixth, the former Mariner, good vibes only, third baseman, Eugenio Suarez. Batting seventh, catching for Arizona, Gabriel Moreno. Batting eighth, the all-star stud center fielder, Corbin Carroll. Batting ninth, playing shortstop, Blaze Alexander. And on the mound for the Diamondbacks, Slade Ciccone. 1-0 record with an ERA of 3.00. And on the mound for the Mariners, George Kirby. 2-2 record with a 5.33 ERA. And then once we have a little bit more time, since the game is just about to start, and I'm about 5 to 10 minutes later than I would like to be, the thumbnail took a little bit longer. I will go into the Mariners starting lineup as soon as we're done with the top of the first inning. Let's go. Let's see if I can do it here real quick. I might be able to squeeze it in. All right, baby. Corbin Carroll on the left, Julio on the right. Leading off for the Mariners, third baseman Josh Rojas. Batting second, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez. Batting third, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. Batting fourth, playing right field, Mitch Haniga. Grand salami last night. Batting fifth, playing second base, Jorge Polanco. Batting sixth, playing first base, Ty France. Batting seventh, DHing for the Mariners, Mitch Garver. Batting eighth, playing left field, Luke Raley. And batting ninth, shortstop, Demo Dylan Moore. And again, as I mentioned on the mound, George Kirby. Well, it looks like I did it. There we go, baby. Made it before first pitch. I didn't think I was going to be able to do that. Let's freaking go. Daniel in the building, Matt in the building. NFL draft is over. Reflect is in the building. First pitch. Right down the middle for a strike. Let's go, baby. Our numbers are amazing. I ended up sending a stat to my best friend Justin because he's at the game. The Mariners are playing so good starting off right now with the pitching. This stat is incredible. Runs allowed the last 14 games. Who do you think is number one in Major League Baseball? Right? I'll say who's last. The Houston Astros, 88. They have given up 88 runs in the last 14 games, and that tells the whole story about the Houston Astros. Number one in Major League Baseball in 14 games. The Houston Astros have given up 88. They're the worst. We have given up 28. Second place is the Chicago Cubs with 46. So it shows you how damn good the pitching has been. And, you know, I'm ready for this. Hitting, pitching, everything is starting to come together with Julio. Bang! And a nice K for George Kirby to start it off. There we go. George is reeling. Mariner Moose is out already, baby. Let's go. Yes, sir. Let's get to 10 Ks tonight, baby. Yeah, let's go. Let me know what you guys think about your NFL draft, if you guys were excited with what you guys did, disappointed, or anything else. Let's go, baby. Pitch right down the middle with some smoke. 0-1 count. Woo, baby. George is on one tonight. Let's go. Let's go, M's, baby. Let them know. Let's try to get to 100 in donos. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube as well. 0-1 pitch. Right down the middle. Man, he is fanning these guys early. Like smoking them, like normally when, Brian Wu or Bryce Miller or Luis Castillo is on, where they can get 10, 11, 12, 13 Ks, and they're just blowing it past the batter. That's what George Kirby is doing tonight. I don't know what's going on because it's 90s day, and they gave away a 90s retro hat at the game after giving away the Ken Griffey Jr. turn back the clock jersey last night. But we are wheeling and dealing, baby. Let's go. Are you kidding me? I don't think I've seen George come out with this kind of intensity all year. Let's get to 3-2, baby. Let's go. Yes, sir. You know it. On that leadoff roll, it's perfect for Rojas. Let's go. Yeah, me and Reflect, we were talking at the same exact time, and I messaged you. I figured you would be up. Another strike. My God. And then you messaged me when you woke up, when you got your notification, and then a couple minutes later I messaged you. But I had a good feeling that it would be possible for Troy to link up with Bo, and I thought that they would do the same thing that they did with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. It would make sense. Another strike. Wow. This is the most impressive performance I've seen out of George within the first 5 pitches of a game ever. Wow. And these guys are swinging at it, trying to go for home runs on every pitch right down the middle. Wow, wow, wow. McCarthy, sit down. One more pitch. Oh, that one he got contact, chopped it foul. I was about to say, if we had 6 fanning strikeouts in a row, it's going to be a long day for the Diamondbacks, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, baby. Isn't that amazing? And we were all, not necessarily us here. We were concerned, but other streamers of the Mariners and other content creators love to be negative, right? And then now, in a matter of the first 10 games into the last 10 games, things have changed up pretty quickly. We went from being in 3rd, 4th place to 1st place in our division. So I like what I see. Top of the first, 0-0, 2 outs, 1-2 pitch to Ketel Marte. Got him. Yeah. Let's go. Are you kidding me? George of the Jungle. My goodness. What an electric start. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we need from our George Kirby. Wow. Amazing. Mariner Moose out early. My goodness. I'm loving it. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Let's go. Unbelievable. But crazy to think that the Astros are worst in that span, but they have been losing games by a lot, and the Mariners are first. So things are starting to blossom for us again, and it's nice to see the Astros doing terrible, and we'll just compete with the Rangers in the division all year, and we'll take that. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Strike. Let's go. I mean, we've watched pretty much every game throughout the season, and some Mariner fans are fair weather, but us, we're going to be positive, and we're not going to be negative. We understand we'll call out the players that are playing bad, and obviously praise the ones that are doing good, but we'll try to have a good outlook on the season as well as every season moving forward, because we've already gone through hell and not making the playoffs for 20 years. We broke that streak a couple years ago, and we want to make sure that we can get to the playoffs rather than not. Let's go. Thank you so much, Moose, early and often. Thank you so much for your generosity. I appreciate you so much. Couldn't do the channel full time without you, and I think that it's an amazing friendship that we've been able to build, not only with the Husky-Duck rivalry, but also having a lot of things in common with fantasy, sports, and our outlook in sports. Some people are very biased, and I feel that you're not, and we see very eye-to-eye to things, and I appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little Cactus Jack, bang, bang, $20 holla, 80 to go. And in the box, starting it off for the Mariners, Mr. Hollywood himself, J-Ro, Josh Rojas. First pitch, home run last night. Then we ended up getting Mitch Garver with a solo dinger. And then lo and behold, our other Mitch, our favorite one, Haniger, goes for a grand salami. Let's go. Fouls that one off. And on the mound for the Diamondbacks, because we don't want to be a hater, right? We want to make sure we're calling it 50-50. Slade Cecconi, 1-0 record with a 3.00 ERA. So I feel that we should be able to be okay here tonight. I know he's got a 1-0 record. We're not afraid. We're first place. We're feeling good. Dodgers, right? They're feeling good. And Braves are feeling good. Right, the guys at the top, and I feel like the Orioles and the Mariners, we're trying to be the Dodgers and the Braves of the American League. Yeah, there's going to be other teams like the Rangers and Yankees that might have something to say about that, but I'll take young and up and coming rather than possibly overrated late in the season. We'll have to wait and see how the Rangers and the Yankees look late, but I'm hoping the Orioles and Mariners can maybe do some magic, and maybe we can play each other in the ALDS or the ALCS. 1-2 pitch. Pitch in the zone for a strike, but called a ball. Wow, that was interesting. Calvin in the building. What's good? Yeah, well, I think there's going to be certain positions that we're going to have a little bit more favoritism, but you can definitely tell the people that are extremely biased about their teams and their players and their takes, and compared to not giving credit to rivals or other teams or other good players. And I feel that you can really gauge someone on how biased they are, on how they talk about the other players in the division or other great players in the league that aren't on your favorite team. And if you're just shitting on all the other great players, you're extremely biased. But if you can give love and show love and appreciation of greatness, then we're going to be able to see a little bit more eye to eye. Big punch out there to Rojas. He probably should have got punched out on that former pitch that we just had that was a strike that was called ball. Rojas goes down. Calvin in the building. He's loving that Oregon State offensive lineman pick. I think a lot of people wanted that. Next up for the Mariners, you already know who it is, Julio Rodriguez. And as Julio goes, the Mariners go. And his numbers have been extremely up in the last 10 games. So hopefully we can keep that up. Now, his home runs are nowhere near where they need to be, but singles, doubles, triples, he's starting to come on and getting some good RBIs. 8 multi-hit games this season that leads the team. Started off dog shit shitty, at the beginning of the year, batting 150 to 200. Now we're starting to get a little bit closer to the, 270 to 300. Run it out. Oh, good effort there, but he's out, 2 away. And I just want to see effort out of Julio. There we go. And again, remember, mental health, very, very important. Addiction, right? Depression, anxiety. We go through a lot of these things. Make sure you're doing the right things every day to win the day. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. Let's go. Next up in the order, you already know who it is. It's the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. One of my favorite players on the team overall. Like I said, I like guys that we bring within the system, not necessarily against guys like Luis Castillo that we bring over in free agency or a trade, from the Reds, but I like homegrown guys, guys that we draft or guys that come up through high A, single A, double A, triple A, big swing and a miss behind in the count 0-2. And that's why I have a lot of love and appreciation for guys like George Kirby, guys obviously like Bryce Miller, but also Julio and Cal Raleigh. Love me some J.P. Crawford, but I'm liking some of these additions that we brought over, like Josh Rojas. Consistency is key for me. Big swing and a miss. Check swing, got him. As the more consistent that you can be, the more that I'm going to like you. So there we go. 3 up and 3 down. We're knotted up at 0. And my best friend Justin is there with his dad. They went to go to Sisters and Brothers, the Nashville hot chicken spot. That's probably the best chicken in Oregon and Washington. He had a good meal there. They went to the gum wall. They went to the waterfront. And obviously they're at the game now. They got their Ken Griffey Jr. jerseys. The turn back the clock, throwback, cutoff jerseys, both waited in line forever. Dad and son both got one. Awesome. And they'll go back to the hotel tonight, and then they'll end up driving back tomorrow morning. So definitely excited for my my buddy Justin to be able to celebrate his birthday with his dad. And obviously, our dads are getting a little bit older, so we don't know how much time that we're going to have, with our family. So we want to make sure that we're soaking in that time as much as we can. Let's go, baby. Calvin in the building. What's good, baby? How'd you like that Saints draft? Spencer Rattler? Are we going to see him play at some point if Carr starts sucking ass? Or is he just going to be a project guy that sits there at third string? I'm very curious. I had a feeling that the Saints, if they didn't get a quarterback early, that they were going to be looking at someone a little bit late in the draft. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. Reflect. Did you see where your boy went, Pratt? Did he? I was going through all the rounds. Did Pratt ended up getting drafted in the 7th round, or did he go undrafted? Because we know Rattler got drafted, but what about Pratt? Did Pratt end up not getting drafted, or did he get drafted late? I've been working on the thumbnail, and it took me a long time to kind of get it done, so I didn't get a chance to. Green Bay in the 7th. Oh, okay, good. He did get drafted. Did that surprise you that he got drafted so late with Spencer Rattler as well? Yeah, round 5. Yeah, you think backup? Oh, okay. Yeah, again, I went through all the rounds, but I didn't get a chance to see all the 7th round picks because I was pressing for time. Like with my programs, once I end up starting something and I'm doing layers, sometimes it errors out. So I have the logos, I have the MLB logo, I have everything set up, and then I'm bringing over the player images. Instead of going over the logo, it would go behind. So that means I have to reset my whole computer, let that program reset itself. And then that means essentially I have to start over on a fucking thumbnail. And sometimes they take 30 minutes to an hour to do. So luckily I was able to get here in time and to get it done. But I did not get a chance to peek at that 7th round full list. I saw about half of it, but I didn't see the last, few picks there. So Green Bay, yeah. Okay, so Green Bay, he goes there, and then those were the last 2 quarterbacks to go in the draft, or did anybody else go? Big swing and a miss on Christian Walker. Make sure we give them love as well. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you. Christian Walker, WRC plus this season, 125 versus lefties, 127 versus righties. Kirby, 15 pitches in, 1-2 count to Christian Walker. One-two pitch. Right. And there's a lot of guys that went a little bit lower than people thought. There's first rounders that went 3rd. There were second rounders that went 4th. And there was 3rd rounders that went 5th, 6th, 7th. So, it happens. Sometimes we go on a run on positions like offensive line or wide receiver. And sometimes these other guys kind of get left in the dust. And then you have to let the dust settle and then see, okay, what's left? Did we actually draft everything that we needed, or did we reach, for just a talented player that we didn't need, but we felt like we couldn't pass on a guy like that? Like Tampa, I didn't think Tampa was going to get Bucky Irving. That made my day, but we didn't really need him. But, there was other offensive line needs that we needed, but we addressed some of that after. But maybe going offensive line would have been smarter. But for the time being, to have a pair of running backs now with Rachaad White and with Bucky Irving, Bucky the Buck, pretty cool. I didn't know how many Washington Huskies or Oregon Ducks Tampa would get, but I'm really excited that I got one on the Huskies with Jalen McMillan, right? Good slot receiver. He'll be my number 3. Gage was ass from Atlanta anyway, so we got rid of his ass. And I'm super excited about McMillan. Not as good as Rome, but again, Rome and Caleb in Chicago, right? We don't know about that offensive line and that defense, so we don't know if Rome will even get the damn ball, right? But McMillan on the Bucks, and I think Bucky is going to be the perfect fit. He'll be a situational back, a change of pace back. Rachaad White's a starter, but if he gets hurt, Bucky Irving, boom, put him in. And then you can also flip-flop. Both of them, you can have both of them be active. Rachaad White can get most of the first down and second down carries, but you can have Bucky as a third down catching back or a change of pace back. So I'm excited to see where it goes. And I like my chances with the Buccaneers of repeating the NFC South champs or getting second place. So I feel pretty good. I know the Saints and the Falcons are coming. Panthers are still terrible, but it should be at some point a 3-team race, especially now we got Baker, Kirk Cousins, and Michael Penix Jr. on Atlanta, and then the Saints, with Carr, Taysom Hill, and obviously with their new quarterback with Spencer Rattler. So let's go. Oh, okay. I feel you. Yeah, I know. A lot of people had him 3rd, 4th, 5th round. Popped up foul. 3-2 count. Oh, okay, I got you. Well, most of the time, the Saints pick players that not the fans want. They don't pick LSU guys. They don't pick ever what the fans want. Dribbler right up the middle for a hit. Damn it, right to Julio. But they usually pick, guys that fit their system, but nobody really knows who they are unless you're a diehard. And it's kind of like a confusing pick, like Turner. Like, it might work out, but the initial reaction from Saints fans, like, what the fuck? Like, you got a really good, talented, popular name guy, and then you pass on a guy that maybe could work, but a lot of the Saints fans are skeptical unless they actually see the guy pan out. And then that was obviously mostly, in the Sean Payton era, a little bit obviously with this era with Dennis Allen as well, who should be fired. And they got, get someone a little bit better than him. He's a coordinator, not a head coach and a leader. And obviously, we already know that Calvin knows that as well. But I wish the best for you guys. Big facts. Megan's got no sleep. She needs a nap for sure. Let's go. Terry in the building. What's good? Pitch right down in the zone for a strike, 1-1 count. Terry, who do you root for in football? Who's your favorite football team? Are you a Saint fan like Calvin? Or are you a Seahawk fan like Megan and Reflect, or a Buck fan? Who do you represent? Lauren helping out on the Twitter/X as well. I appreciate that. And anyone that's got a Twitter/X, do your boy a solid so we can get some more people in the room. Thank you to Megan. Thank you to Lauren. And Matt, can you like and retweet the live stream? I know we were all kind of scrambling here. You were trying to get home, looking at the job fair type and whatnot, and you got in. First timer, Seahawks. Good to have you in the room. Like I said, we got a lot of fans that rep the Seahawks that come through on a regular basis. For me, the only team that I don't really necessarily is my favorite team on the NFL side, because I'm a Tampa fan. I'm a defensive guy, since 95 with like Sapp and Brooks and Lynch and Barber. But, I follow the Blazers, I follow the Mariners, I follow the Ducks, and then Tampa, obviously, on the NFC South side. But I cover all 32 teams if they were my own. So much love and welcome coming through. Chop foul. Count on Jock Peterson. 1-2 count. Always good to get some newbies in the room. See, that's what I was thinking. When I saw that, I thought that, Lattimore's gone pretty soon. Big strikeout for Kirby on Jock Peterson. Sit down. There we go. Nice job. George with another K. Bring that moose out, baby. Yes, sir. Stack those Ks, my guy. Let's go for 10. Next up, you already know what it is. Our former third baseman, good vibes only, Eugenio Suarez. A little weird seeing him in the new uni. 235 average, 2 homers, 16 ribbies. So if you're comparing his numbers on Arizona, they're not as good of a team as Seattle at this point, obviously, right? 0 for 4 this series. Compared to Josh Rojas, Urias, and a few of the other guys that have played third base, both of those guys have actually been playing better than Gino. But what we like about Gino was his defense at third base. Struck out too much, could come up with a clutch home run here and there, but it was his personality. Him and JP and Julio, good vibes only, and I really like good people. And he seems like good people. I will root for him for the rest of his career, wherever he ends up, but as long as he doesn't rip us up here tonight, Eugenio Suarez. Let's go. Pitch is high, 1-2 count. But let's be honest, as hardcore as this channel is, and as hardcore as some people are, where we could be watching, 3, 4, 5 games over a weekend, and we're going over players, we're going over YouTube videos, we're going over highlight packages, we're doing reading out the ass, we're reading 4 or 5 hours a day. Let's be honest, right? Even myself, once you get to the 4th round, right? 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, there's going to be a lot of names that are unfamiliar. And if you act like you know every single name in the draft, you're a liar. because there's just so many schools. There's so many names. No one's going to know the fucking cornerback on Toledo unless you ended up, being a Toledo fan, or you ended up remembering a game as like, a Michigan fan, and then they had a matchup and the guy did a big interception. There's going to be certain scenarios where you're going to remember certain guys, but let's be honest and real. There's going to be a lot of guys in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th round where you're like, who is that? And then, you don't really know how to feel. Is this good? Is it bad? You don't know. So you just have to wait for them to, get into camp and see how they do in the first couple years, and then cross your fingers, hope it works out. Throw to second, force out. There we go. There's going to be, those famous names, and then there's going to be names that the diehards know because we follow football, on a different type of level. But in all honesty, I mean, there's going to be a lot of these guys that, we've maybe heard of, but maybe we haven't. We don't know who the hell they are, because you got to think there's over 100 Division I schools. Plus there's guys that are getting picked from rugby, overseas, and people that you've never heard of or maybe barely heard of, right? So there's going to be a lot of names, especially on day 3, where you hope it works out, but you shouldn't really necessarily have any expectations. If it works out, great, but if it doesn't, rounds 4 through 7 are guys that are projects, guys that are depth fillers. They're not necessarily going to be guys that are going to be All-Pro, Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame. Now, can you get an All-Pro, Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame in rounds 4 through 7 or undrafted? Yes, you can. But again, normally the first 3 rounds, that's the cream of the crop. But again, sometimes you'll get a guy that should have got picked in the first round, he goes 3rd round. Or you got a guy that should have got picked 2nd round, he goes 4th round. So they'll have a chip on their shoulder, and then they'll end up bringing that elevated play. But there was a lot of names, even as myself, I feel that, I don't want to say quote unquote expert, as far as the college on every single player. On the NFL side, I feel like I'm pretty fluent with everything. But as I was like going through and watching the draft with Paisley, I was like, damn. I was like, it's almost every year, there'll be a few, those names that you'll, you are familiar with. But then you got a lot of names where you're like, I got to look this up. Like, who is this? And then you look at the player profile, you look at the highlight package, but still, you're never really going to know if it's going to work out until you actually see them in camp, and then you see them in games, preseason, and then obviously regular. So bottom of the 2nd, we're knotted up here at 0. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we can be die hard, but we also have to be honest. Like there's going to be times where even the amount of reading that we do compared to other channels or other streamers, there's still going to be like holes to be filled. It's not like there's only 30 colleges, and we're going to know a good chunk of the players. I mean, you got over 100 Division I, and then sometimes you'll get Division II players that get drafted, overseas rugby guys. And so some people like you might have heard of a rugby player that gets drafted and whatnot, but for a lot of us, we may or may not. So next up, our grand salami player from last night, Mitch Haniga. Let's go, Miach. Bottom of the 2nd, 0-0, pitches outside, 1-1 count. Let's go. Bring that electricity, Mitch. We got a solo dinger from Rojas, Mr. Hollywood, J-Ro, solo jack from the other Mitch, right? Mitch Garver, and then a grand salami out of Mitch Haniger, which was awesome. And then I saw the Mariners social media team. They had the M&M, kind of like the Mario and Luigi, and then they had them kind of dressed up that way with their social pic that they did and their little video and whatnot. So I like what they're doing there on the social media side for the Mariners, and hopefully the 2 Mitches can continue this success. 1-2 pitch is outside, 2-2 count. Let's go, baby. Yes, but again, they need it. They don't got anybody at really running back, wide receiver, tight end, but you do need to get big guys up front at some point for Levis or the D-line. So kind of cool that they did that. But again, it's going to be a long time probably before the Titans catch up to the Colts, right? The Texans or the Jags, unless there's serious injuries. Same thing like with Chicago. You might be able to get past Minnesota, maybe, I don't know, but again, the cream of the crop is going to be Detroit and Green Bay. So, and I get it. You've got J.J. McCarthy, you got Aaron Jones, right? You got Jay Jetta, Addison, Hawkinson, but your O-line stinks and your defense stinks. And anytime you have an O-line and defense that stink, that doesn't really bode well for a team in the NFL or college. You can have all these splash players all you want, but at the end of the day, if that's what your team is, you're probably only going to win 6 to 9 games. And you might even win less if you have injuries on top of the players that you have, like they did with Hawkinson and Jetta. Obviously, Kirk Cousins went down with an injury. So, again, you have to have a good O-line and defense and good coaching and play calling if you want to go the distance. You can put butts in the seats with quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, but you're never going to win a Super Bowl if you don't got an O-line or a defense or good play callers on OC or DC or head coach. Big facts. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Good to hear. Pitch up in the zone for a strike. 0-2 count. To be very honest, with Seattle and a lot of the teams, I'm not sure if I can honestly give a proper evaluation because some of the players I've never even heard of, maybe I've heard of them, but I never watched them. Like I said, you can't expect me to have a film on, 1,000 players in college, in my brain. So, I don't know. Like I said, I think most people, would have said probably in the B range, B plus overall. It started off with a bang, with that first pick, probably like an A pick, A minus pick, right at the top. But then as you got further into the draft, a lot of the names were kind of unfamiliar, even for Seahawk diehards, I feel. So, it's kind of a wait and see approach. But if you want to go back and see like an elite draft, you go back in the Pete Carroll era, in the Legion of Boom era, when they had like Earl Thomas and Richard Sherman. If you want to go and see an amazing draft, go back and look at the Seahawks draft in that particular year. They literally got Pro Bowl, All-Pro, Hall of Fame players from the top all the way to the bottom. That is because I ended up seeing up on socials, they were like doing like comparisons. But again, at that time, I don't think anyone knew Richard Sherman was going to be that Richard Sherman. We didn't know Earl Thomas was going to be that good, So as you started to see guys, getting picked in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, but Seattle and Pete Carroll back in the day, they were the masters of picking late 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. And then not only were they masters of 3rd through 7th, that they hit on all of those picks. And then those guys ended up being some of the best players that we've ever seen in this generation. So not every draft is going to be like that. But if you want to compare an elite draft, you go back and look at the Pete Carroll draft when you had those guys. And if your draft doesn't look like that, then chances are it's probably not going to be as good. But overall, wait till they go to camp. Wait to see the chemistry. It's like when we thought Witherspoon might be too small. Gonzalez got hurt for New England, so we didn't really get to see what he was going to do, and his full potential. But then they had the game against the Giants. Remember on Monday night, he got the pick 6. And then since that point, everyone is sold on Witherspoon. So sometimes you got to have your moment. And even though you might suck or be below average in the beginning as a rookie or a second-year player, sometimes you have to wait for that particular game to break out. And then once you break out, it's up to the player to hold on to that momentum and not let it go. And that's what we saw with Witherspoon. So, some people thought, he might be good. Some people thought it might take a couple years. And then obviously had that big game against the Giants, and then he never looked back. But also, we've seen that same scenario where you have a rookie kind of treading underwater, floating barely, and then not really being very good. And then you got to wait to the 2nd or 3rd year, and then they pick it up. Not everyone is going to pick it up right away. Top of the 3rd, 0-0. Corbin Carroll in the box, batting in the 8 hole, which is pretty crazy if you ask me. Let's go, baby. But I think overall, by just doing the glance test and 202 average, 1 homer, 5 ribbies for Corbin Carroll. But I think that, just me not being biased and just looking at the draft, I think for the Seahawks, I think I would give it somewhere between, a B, B plus, somewhere in there. But again, we're not going to really know if that's true. It might have ended up being a B minus draft. I don't think I would say it was a C draft, but I think the lowest you could say is B minus. But I think that you can't say B minus until we see the players. And then if some of the guys don't pan out, then you can say, yeah, we hit on some at the top, but later we didn't. But for now, I think I would give it somewhere between a B, B plus. Corbin Carroll, sit down. There we go. Let's go. Let's go. Kirby, wheeling and dealing. Moose is out. I mean, for an all-star player, You know, a generational talent, a guy that took his team to the World Series, even though they lost to the Texas Rangers, right? To see him struggling, it was kind of like how Julio was playing earlier in the year, but Julio never went to the 8-hole. Wow, off the wall, almost a homer. Thank God that didn't go. Get him! Wow. Sliding into second safe. Well, I guess that's what happens when your last name and your first name and they match. Blaze Alexander. What a name. All right, Blaze. I see you. Blaze almost went yard right there. Thank God he didn't. Right off the wall. I mean, we're talking about like 6 inches from being a homer. Right on the yellow. Wow, maybe not even 6, maybe 3 inches from being a homer. Right on the front of the pad. Unbelievable. If the wall is 326, that was 325 and a half. Oh my God. Wow. There's going to be a review to see if this is a homer. It better not be. That's going to be short of a homer by about 3 to 6 inches. Yeah, Jerry Rice's son went into the 7th. A little bit later than he probably wanted, but again, at least you're drafted. But even when you don't get drafted, you can still make a team. You know, there's other avenues. You know, you can get a workout and get invited and make a team. Hell, you can end up going to Dwayne Johnson's league, you know, and work out there. And then, you know, if you are one of the best players in that league, you can make it in. All right, in play. Trident's up, double there. That was really close. Yeah, there's a few teams that had, some pretty damn good drafts. The Rams, I like what they did with their draft, with their, first few picks. I think they hit it out of the park with their first 4. Eagles, got some players. But again, you know how Philadelphia is. They had a lot of turnover. They have a lot of names. They like to get a lot of players that are known, and, free agents they're bringing in. But just because you try to build a super team doesn't mean you're going to win it all, right? And a lot of their draft picks in the past sometimes start slow. They're not going to come out of the gates firing at all times. So, I feel that some of the players they got were nice, but we'll have to see on how it works out with their system. Because for me, Philly's a little broken with their coaching, right? It's like they got their bodyguard enforcer. Their head coach is kind of immature, Sirianni. If you watched him a few years ago, kind of talking shit like a player. Like, you got to be a little bit more mature. You saw some dysfunction with Jalen and A.J. Brown. And obviously the offensive line doesn't have Kelsey anymore. The defense is getting older. Fletcher Cox, bye-bye. So it's like you got players, but you're not the same team as you were even just a year or two ago. So it's going to be a little bit of a mini rebuild, but lucky for them, the Cowboys are the Cowboys. They'll always be a good regular season and fuck up in the playoffs. And obviously with the Giants and the Commandos, they're not going to be good. So, almost by default, it's going to be Philly, or Dallas. So I guess that's the bright side for them. But DB Cooper DeJean, I'm definitely excited to see what he can do. Yeah, I mean, that's why you got to make sure you're looking out for your mental health. It can't be always about the likes and the subs and the donos. And, sometimes you got to look out for yourself, And I applaud Brandon, for, going all out, and doing that. But for me and my mental health, I wouldn't be able to do a 4-hour stream, another 4-hour and 30-minute stream last night, and then do like a 7-hour stream today. That would have been just a little bit too much for my mentals, and I want to make sure that I bring energy and I bring excitement and I'm on point, every single day when I do a stream. I don't want to be lagging or tired or dragging ass. But I commend him, for putting out the effort. I know some other streamers ended up doing rounds 4 through 7, but that's just not something that I'm going to do. I'll watch it with Paisley, but I got other things that I got to do to prepare myself for this stream, as well, to make sure I have quality time with my pup. I don't know how long she's going to live, and, I want to make sure that even though she's not that old yet, I want to make sure that, if that means sacrificing a stream and playing around with my pup for 2 hours, and, playing catch and, going for an extra walk, I'm going to typically go that route. So next up, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., top of the third, runners at first and second with 1 out. Let's go. Big swing and a miss, 1-1 count. But I always appreciate effort. That's my number one thing. If you have effort, and passion for whatever you do, I'm going to admire you. I'm going to acknowledge it. And like I said, anyone that has a grind or a passion that puts in a lot of hard work to make their dreams come true, you know, regardless if it's YouTube or Twitch or something else in the, you know, quote unquote real world that's out there, you know, whatever your passion project is, you know, I have a lot of admiration and respect, you know, for people that chase their dreams, that work hard. And again, I try to set the example. You know, it took me 10 years to go full-time. This is my 3rd year full-time. I've been recording for 12. This is my 8th year on YouTube. And, you know, I'm only about 1% into my journey. And we're about 50,000 views away from 4 million. So I know some streams are only going to get a couple hundred views. Some will get over 1,000. So it's going to take a little time, but we'll definitely do a giveaway once we hit that 4 million view mark. Unless for some weird reason we go viral, you know, on a video or on a live stream and we get some kind of push, you know, from the tube. But, you know, I feel that, you know, I'm going to have to do it my way. I'm going to have to work really hard. You know, nothing really comes easy for me. But again, you know, everyone's journey is different. I never compare myself to anyone else. And I just try to show you guys like what you have to do if you want to have your dreams come true. You got to really put in a lot of effort and a lot of hard work. 2-2 pitch. Got him. There we go. Yes, sir. George Kirby. My goodness. George of the jungle. Let's go. George is on point today. Thank God. The last thing that we wanted to see, you know, George give up 5 runs in the 2nd inning and have him get pulled, and then we end up losing like 9-2. You know, so this is an absolutely fantastic start for George Kirby with a 2-2 record and a 5.33 ERA. We need to get that ERA down to the 3s. Now, is he good enough to get into the 2s? You're damn right. But when you end up starting like shit and you're at 10, you got to kind of, you know, be realistic with it. Go from 10, then 8, then 7, and then 5, and then we'll try to get this down into the 4s, and then hopefully in the 3s. 3.33 is a lot better than 5.33, and he's got the skill set to do it. Top foul, 0-2 count, but great start for George Kirby so far here tonight. He's got 7 Ks already. Unbelievable. Let's go. And make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. Again, addiction, depression, anxiety, we go through it on the daily, but make sure you're doing the right thing, right, to win the day. Exercise, eat better, cut back on the booze, you know, get outside for a walk, check up on your friends. You know, there's a lot of things that you can do to improve your mental health on the daily. And then once you start making it a routine, it becomes a pattern. Once you do something for about 3 weeks, about 21 days, you know, that's what they say. Then it becomes a habit instead of just something as a pattern. And if you got good habits, then you can have the good discipline, and then your life can turn around. You know, and my life has definitely taken a big 360, 720 in the last year. Top of the 3rd, 0-0 Mariners and Diamondbacks. Got to get out of this inning with these snakes. 0-2 pitch. Eighth K for my guy. Let's go. Are you kidding me? Let's go, baby. Mariner Moose. 8th K, and we're only in the 3rd inning. So to break that down for people, if you have a perfect 3 innings, you're at 9 strikeouts. And that means you strike out the first 3, then the second 3 in the 2nd inning, and then the 3rd in the 3rd inning, right? That would be 9 if you do a complete perfect. He's at 8. I don't know if you can get any better than that, considering how things were going for him prior. I like it. Electric, my guy. The Moose likes it. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Yeah, baby. And Reflect, let me know what you want for photos. I'll bust out the Mariner Moose here for a second. But an exciting weekend. You know, like I said, NFL draft was really, really fun. A lot of players that no one knows who the hell they are. We're going to have to wait and find out. But overall, you know, we got some teams that made some fantastic picks. We got some teams that made some head-scratching picks, right? But overall, we're not going to really know where all of this sits until about a year or 2 from now. You know, but the draft experience is always exciting, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. And I was able to do day 1 for the first round, and then day 2 yesterday for rounds 2 and 3, but I was fucking exhausted. I can't even imagine fucking Brandon doing 4 hours, 4.5 hours, and then doing like 7 or 8 hours today. You know, I just wouldn't have a voice either, so. Let's go. How are you? Central Maine, what's good? I hope you're having a fantastic day. And we do a little bit of everything here. We do MLB, NBA, NHL, NFL, NASCAR, college football. We do a little bit of everything here. I think we probably have the most diverse content out of any full-time live streamer that's out there as far as actually knowing what we're talking about and, going through the due diligence and the grind, 365, 24/7. So let's go, baby. We're at 20. Let's get to 80 or a hundo. Let's do it. I appreciate that. Who are your favorite teams? What do you like watching? Baseball, basketball, football, hockey? You got any particular team so we can get to know you? Usually when I get new people in the room, if they're not shy and they're just looky-loos and they're kind of watching me on Twitter, X, or YouTube, because a lot of people are shy, if you want to let us know who your favorite teams are that you represent or who your favorite players are, that'll give us a chance to get to know you a little bit. And a lot of times when I find out that information, I'll remember it because I care about people. And then, down the road, if you end up coming back, I might be able to throw up a few HD 4K photos, regardless if you donate or not, because usually that's how it works. If someone donates, we'll throw up some photos of their favorite things. But even not, I'll still be able to remember you, and then we'll be able to build a little connection. So bottom of the third, 0-0, Mariners and Diamondbacks. Slade on the mound, Mitch Garver in the box with a 2-2 count. Big swing and a miss. There goes Miach, one away. Next up for the Mariners, left fielder Luke Raley. Let's go. And if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. And looks like we need 2 more to get to 10. A majority of the people that are watching still on Twitter/X. We just got a few people to do it. We're at 10. Let's try to get to 20, and we'll go from there. So we're at 10. We'll get to 15, hopefully. And then if we get to 15, we'll try to get to 20. Let's go. Let's go, Luke. 174 average, 0 homers, 2 ribbies. I would like to be able to see, somebody that we haven't seen in a little bit, right? Who is that? Somebody that got called up that gave us that big streak, right? Against the Reds, and we haven't seen him play in quite a few games. If we're not going to have him play, send him down. That way he can develop, right, in AAA. Oh, he dropped a bunt. Yes! There we go. Yes, sir. But I need to see some Jonathan Clase. Like, why don't we have Jonathan Clase playing over Luke Raley? Now, I like that Luke got this bunt right here, right? Luke, right? But Jonathan Clase is more of a weapon, I believe, for us, unless they feel that he's a liability in the outfield as far as being a left fielder. But I would rather have someone faster on the bags and someone a little bit more consistent. And yes, I know, you're going to have to mix up the lineup a little bit and let everyone play here and there. But at the end of the day, when we were, doing shitty and we were like 3rd, 4th place in the division, now we're 1st place, and now we're one of the hottest teams in Major League Baseball. I want to see the best players play together. J.P. Crawford is out. Rojas took that leadoff spot that we were kind of, bitching about. Like, hey, maybe they need to move these guys in the lineup a little bit. It took J.P. Crawford to get injured for it to happen, right? And they dropped Polanco down in the lineup, so Service listened. And then we got our number 1 hitter, Rojas, leading off, Hollywood. So it's nice that Service listened, but he didn't really listen. He just had to wait for JP to get hurt, and then the obvious choice to put Rojas there ended up working out. So I always love it when we bring in a new player. We had no expectations of Josh Rojas last year in the Paul Sewald trade with Canzone. Canzone was more of the hot piece. He was the more of the the bling, right? That was like, ooh, Dominic Canzone, right? But now, with Dominic Canzone injured, Rojas looks like he might actually be the better player. Dylan Moore, Demo strikes out, 2 away. Come on, Demo. We need you, baby. We need your defense and your offense. And a lot of the runs and hits are going to come after these starting pitchers go out. It kind of feels it might be like a 3-2 game, once these starting pitchers go out. But it could end up being 0-0 all the way up into the 5th or 6th inning if things don't change. Next up, Hollywood, 3rd baseman, J-Ro, Josh Rojas. Let's go, Josh. Let's go, baby. All right, let's get to know Jamie, and I like the spelling of your name. You know, my name is spelled Orion, like the constellation. So I love being able to see variations of names like that. That's awesome. Celtics, Dolphins, and Cubs. Awesome. You got any particular favorite players? Are you old school like Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale? You like Dan Marino? You like what you got with Tua and Tyreek? And then Sandberg, Mark Grace. Going old school with the Cubs, Andre Dawson, Damon Berryhill. Your boy remembers. I collected a lot of memorabilia and cards growing up, so name dropping is very easy for me to do in baseball, basketball, football, hockey, and wrestling. Stolen base there, baby. Luke Rayleigh. Let's go. What a jump by Luke. My goodness, who is this? It looks like Jonathan Clase out there. Gets tagged, but the ball gets loose. He's got those thunder thighs. You got the muscle right there to pop that ball loose. Nice job, Luke. Come on, baby. Come on, Josh. Chopper towards first. He's out. We leave one stranded. And this one's going to be a battle. Like I said, both pitchers are playing very, very well. We only have 2 hits for the Diamondbacks, 1 for the Mariners. No errors yet. Pretty clean game, but I know things will get ramped up. 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th inning, we'll get it ramped up for sure. Do you have any specific photos that you want reflect? Do you want Michael Penix Jr. or anything specific for Seattle, like the draft pick guys that you got? You let me know what you want, and I can throw that up so you guys can represent. I got you. I appreciate you as well. End of the 3rd inning. We're knotted up here still at 0. Take a look to see who the Diamondbacks have up next. All right, next up for Arizona, 1-for-1, first baseman Christian Walker. Batting second, DHing for Arizona. Seems like he goes to a different team every year. Jock Peterson, 0-for-1 with a K. And batting third, one of my favorite players in Major League Baseball, good vibes only, the former Mariner, third baseman, Eugenio Suarez. Still looks a little weird in that Arizona jersey. Looks much better in the Mariner teal. Let's go. And let's take a look at the pitchers so far with Slade Ciccone, 1-0 record with a 3.00 ERA. So far with his stat line, 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned run, no walk, 6 Ks, beast mode. ERA down to 2. Okay, I see you. And then let's go with George Kirby. What we got with George? George is like, hey, I'm good too. All right, George Kirby, 3 innings pitched, no hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 8 Ks. Woo! Let's go. So you got a combined 14 Ks. It is a pitcher's duel. Let's go. Let's go. And then maybe we can get this tonight. That would be nice. Trident's up. No problem. Go get some sleep. Like I said, I want you to be able, you've been up for days and days and days with the draft. Go get a nap. And then if you can't sleep, come back. I'll be on here for another I'll be here for another hour and a half or so. So if you can't sleep, come back. But, I'll be live tomorrow, so no worries. Isaiah Thomas, former Celtic and Husky. Okay, we can do that. Sandberg. We'll throw up a Sandberg for her. Marino. Okay, we got Marino. Dominique. Okay. There with the Atlanta. Okay, so Sandberg and Marino. Okay, we got you. Oh, the sleep disorder. That's tough. All right, we'll get some photos up for you ladies here in just a moment and reflect. Appreciate you guys. All right, we're in the top of the 4th, 0-0 Mariners and Diamondbacks. Yeah, I think a lot of people were Sandberg fans. I remember growing up here in Oregon since, WGN, obviously carried the Cubs. And so if you weren't attached to a team, as a kid, they were always on, just like with the Braves on Turner with TBS, right? So there's a lot of Braves and Cubs fans globally and in the U.S. because that was on basic cable back in the day if you had it, right? But I had a friend, Brad, and his brother Grant. His mom and dad were Cubs fans, and his grandma and grandpa were Cubs fans, and it kind of rubbed off on me. me, and I ended up buying starting lineups of like Sandberg and Grace, Andre Dawson, and I still have them, to this day. And my grandma, who passed away a few years back, she was a big Cubs fan as well. So I definitely have a little bit of an attachment and a connection with the Chicago Cubs. I got amazing uniforms. They're one of the OGs, the long-term team from back in the day. And again, they may not be as good as they were a couple years ago when they ended up winning the World Series, but they still compete. And I definitely like to be able to see what Cody Bellinger and company can do. Bang! Nice K there by George Kirby. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, I got them for every stream that I do. So I don't know. For me, I look young, but I'm 41. So I'm going to be 42 in about a week. So I like vintage stuff from like the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. I like vintage. So I got vintage baseball cards. Then we do NFL. I got vintage NFL vintage cards. And then I got NHL and NBA vintage as well. I don't think it's going to fit because I have it different, but I'll show you here. So boom, we'll go like this when we do NFL streams. And then when I do NHL, we'll have like that old school look. And then even on the NBA, I like that type of vibe as well. So I like to be original. I don't like to be like everybody else. And of course, I could have, just did a little box in the corner and, had like an ESPN or MLB page in the background like some people do. But I want to be original. I want to do it my way and do something that's different that no one else has done. And I like cards a lot. I collect toys, I collect figures, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joe, McFarlane, starting lineups, Star Wars. I mean, pretty much anything that is worth money that's collectible in the 80s and 90s, that's what I'm into. So Suarez popped up. There we go. Trident's up to Haniger. 3 up and 3 down. All right, let's get some photos up here. Boys got to work here. I got an old school one here of Isaiah on the Huskies for you to reflect. Whoa, baby. Let's go. Oh, baby. You already know how I do it, baby. Putting in that extra effort. Let's go. And I'm not sure, if you guys will agree, but the Cubs pinstripe jerseys from the 80s are something else. This color combo is beautiful. Like I said, certain colors just pop in baseball, basketball, football, and hockey. Oh, baby. Let's go. I got you. We'll get some more photos sprinkled in here in a second. Judah in the building. What's good? All the K's, baby. Yep. And again, a lot of us here are from the Pacific Northwest. Not everyone, but we got a few people here from the Pacific Northwest. Some people are from the Midwest, the East Coast, the South. Megan's from Australia. So we got people all over the globe. But again, anyone that has a Northwest connection, we definitely have a little bit more love for those people. And again, some people remember that information and some people do not. Like Wally Joyner and a few of those people back in the day, that we remember them, playing in the major leagues. But I think a lot of fans forgot where they played high school or college ball. And a lot of them have Northwest ties, or even West Coast ties, California, Oregon, or Washington. How are you doing, Judah? Giants fan in here helping out with the likes. I appreciate you. Pitch is low. Into the dirt almost there. 1-0 count. Cal Raleigh, let's go, big dumper. How are you doing, Judah? How'd you like your draft? 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the first. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Cal. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. Big swing and a miss. 1-1 count. Let's try to get to 15 on the likes, even though I know most of the people are watching on the Twitter/X side. And if you come to the YouTube side, then you can like and comment and you can, donate from there. Unfortunately, they don't have that option to do all those things yet on the Twitter X side. But we need 4 more people to get to 15. 3 more people to get to 15. And hopefully we can get that. And then once we get to 15, we'll try to at least get to 20. 20 is kind of the standard on every live stream because it helps with the algorithm and the metrics. But shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X's YouTube as well. Pitch right down the middle for Cal Raleigh. Takes a strike, 2-2 count. Bottom of the fourth, 0-0 Mariners and Diamondbacks. Last 7 games for the big dumper, 346 average, 4 homers, 9 ribbies with a 1.227 OPS. Let's go. And it's 90s night there at the stadium. They gave away a 90s neon throwback kind of hat. Big swing and a miss. And I'm wearing the Ken Griffey Jr. throwback here in honor of 90s game today. Let's go. Absolutely, Cal Raleigh is a top 10 catcher in the league. He's probably the best power hitter as a catcher. And again, I feel that even though the statistics say he is one of the better catchers defensively, I'm hard on him because I want him to be better. But I definitely think he is one of the top 10 catchers in Major League Baseball. I wouldn't trade him for any other catcher in baseball right now. Like I said, if someone's like, oh, we'll give you this player, like if it was like Buster Posey was playing or like Pudge Rodriguez, then I would maybe consider. But we don't have anybody like Mike Piazza or Pudge Rodriguez or Buster Posey playing right now at catcher that would make me want to be like, yeah, let's get rid of him. He's one of those guys. We brought in Kirby, Cal, and Julio in the same year. So those are the 3 amigos. So we got to stick with those guys. So. Ryan in the building, what's good? How you like your draft, my guy? And we'll get some Stefan photos up here for Megan in a second. On the corner for a strike, 2-2 count. Man, that's a name, Taijuan Walker. And sometimes we have these players that if we could have just had them on a different team, with a better supporting cast, maybe they could have worked out with us. But a lot of times when we get rid of a guy, they do much better wherever they go, but not all the time. Bottom of the fourth, 0-0 Mariners and Diamondbacks. 3-2 count to Mitch Haniga. Let's go, Mitch. Grand salami last night. Get the mustard and the rye bread, baby. 2-out walk. We'll squeeze these in real quick for Megan. She's dying right now with lack of sleep. Been up for days, covering the NFL draft for the Seahawks. So at some point, I hope that you get a good night of sleep because you're going to need it. Next up for the Mariners, switch hitter, second baseman, Jorge Polanco. Let's go, baby. Pitch in the zone for a strike, 0-1 count, 0 for 1 with a flyout. Polanco chops it foul. Yeah, and at the end of the day, with this particular matchup, it might end up being a 1-0 or 2-1 game. It's possible. It's kind of hard for these players to get a rhythm, but like I said, once the starting pitching goes out, it could open up, and in 3 innings, both teams could have 4 or 5 runs very easily. It just depends on who they bring in the bullpen and if they're hot or not. Bird Gang in the building. How are you? How'd you enjoy your NFL draft experience these last 3 days? Did you love it? You like what you guys did in the draft? Eagles got some pretty damn good players. And I was looking at a percentage chart for your first 2 picks. And the percentage of being able to get those 2 picks at that spot. One was 6%, one was 3%, with DB Cooper DeJean, and the other. So hopefully those will be good, good role players and good pieces to fill in some of the holes that you guys had from last season. Bottom of the 4th, 0-0 Mariners and Diamondbacks. Runner at first, chop towards first base. Damn. We leave another one stranded. End of the 4th inning. Let's go to the top of the 5th. Let's see if I can squeeze in a few more photos for y'all. Let's go, Mariner Moose. We need a rally, baby. And I got to hit you with your first round draft pick, Byron Murphy. He's kind of good. Size, speed, athleticism, run stuffer. And as we know with the Seahawks, defense has not been very kind to them in the last couple years. So offensive line and defense are very, very important for the Hawks. And once they figure that out, that's when they're going to be able to compete with the Rams and Niners and overtake them for the NFC West crown. But until then, it's going to be a plug and play, and they're going to have to be very, very smart and diligent. And again, it may take a couple years, to get to the Niner level. But right now, the Rams are competing just like Seattle for that second spot. And we could end up having 3 teams from the NFC West in the playoffs with 10 wins or more. I see you, Hawks. Nine Ks for Kirby. Let's make it 10, baby. Pitches outside. 1-0 count. We're in the top of the 5th. 0-0. Let's go. Come on, George. Top foul by Moreno. 1-1 count. Top of the 5th, 0-0, 1-1 pitch to Moreno. Uh-oh. Crushed that one. To Julio. There we go. Trident's up. Julio said, hey, I can play some defense out there. No fly zone. 1 away. Top of the 5th, 0-0. Mariners and Diamondbacks. Next up for Arizona, their phenom center fielder, Corbin Carroll. Man, you guys would laugh if you guys knew how many button clicks I do per stream. Man, it's one thing to be able to do a live stream, but to produce your own show, to be a producer, and to be like the host, it's a lot of fucking work instead of just hitting like start stream and then you're not doing anything besides talking. It's a challenge for sure. But I feel that if I like what I see on the screen, I know that you guys do as well. And, putting out that extra effort makes the overall product better. 200 average for Corbin Carroll, 0 for 4 this series, kind of Julio numbers in those first 10 games. Grand Salami. So Grand Salami is, when you have 3 guys on base, first base, second base, third base, and then the guy at the plate hits a home run. And then you get 4 runs to come in. So at that point, we were up, I think, 2-0 or 2-1. And then he hit the grand slam, because that's where the grand salami comes from, grand slam. And then grand slam is when you hit a home run with 3 guys on base. And that's like the most amount of runs that you can get in one particular hit. If you got 3 guys on, right, and you got 1 or 2 outs or none, and then the batter hits a home run, then you get 4. So that's like the most damage you can do to the other team, if that makes sense. Oh, I know you like that. I mean, I still wanted Jackson Powers Johnson, but the main reason we got Barton is because he can play guard, center, and tackle. So at first I was like, damn it, I want a Duck player on my Bucks. But I got Bucky Irving, and then I ended up getting a Husky and Jalen McMillan. So I don't have anything to bitch about. And I root for Jackson Powers Johnson on the Raiders, popped up and out. But again, I think that the Bucks made the right choice. He was the number 1 ranked center, even though I think Jackson Powers Johnson was like a 1A to the 1B. But Jackson Powers Johnson, he's more of a center. Could he play guard? Possibly. But again, it just depends on the comfort level. And anytime you have a player that can play 1, 2, 3 positions compared to just one, it definitely is an advantage, especially on offensive line when there's a lot of injuries. So let's go. Any other photos that you want me to be able to bring up, reflect for yourself or others in the room? See where we're at on the likes right now as well. But a little overcast day here in Oregon. And me and Paisley got some good walks in. We'll do another one late tonight. But I spent a lot of extra time with them. Looks like we need one more person to smash the like button. Thank you so much, whoever that was. Trident's up. We're at 15. Looks like we got 18 in the room on the YouTube side, and then obviously 20, 30 plus on the Twitter/X side. We have 45 in the room. So we need 5 more people from the Twitter/X side to jump over to the YouTube to smash the like button, or for the people in the room that haven't done it to do that. And then if we can get to 20 before the stream's over, that would be great. Let's go. And then we're at, what are we at? 20 in the donos, 80 to go. Let's go, baby. We're in the middle of the 5th. Take a look up to see who's up for the Seattle Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1 with a K, Ty France. Batting second this inning, 0 for 1 with a K. One of the Mitches, Mitch Garver. And batting third, the fielder with the bunt, Luke Rayleigh. Luke, I'm your father. Let's go. Kirby's got 9 Ks. And then Sacconi's got 7. 16 combined. Unbelievable. Mookie started off the season higher than anyone. If you went in and look at the statistical categories on MLB.com, at one point, a week or 2 ago, he had number 1 in almost every category. Yeah, he definitely came out of the gates firing for sure. My dad is a big Dodger fan, Jamie, and a fan since the 50s. So, Sandy Koufax, Don Drysdale, went through all of that, and it kind of rubbed off on me. I'm Mariners, 100%. But if I had a second team, I don't claim the Dodgers as my team. That's my dad's team. But I definitely will once in a while do a stream for like my dad's honor, and throw up a Dodger stream here and there. But I know just as much about the Dodgers as I do with the Mariners. I follow them very, very closely. But, I only got one team, just the Mariners. But I like to be able to root them on for my dad, obviously, since he's so hardcore. And he's one of those type of people like me. He is a fanatic. You guys see him on the thumbnail with me. And he watches every single game. He doesn't watch Blazers. He only watches the Ducks, maybe half of the games. But the only sport that he follows is baseball. And he literally watches all 162 games for the Dodgers. So he's just like me on the MLB side. 2-2 pitch. France chops it off foul. Let's go, Ty. Pitch is outside. 3-2 count. Take the walk. You don't need to swing, man. Let's go, Ty. Bottom of the fifth, 0-0. Saccone on the mound. Ty France, chopper. Throw to first. Got him. Ty France is too slow. One away. And like I mentioned earlier before, make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health the best way that you can. You know, depression, anxiety, addiction. I've gone through all of these things. It's hard to go, from the bottom and to get out of the gutter and go to the top, but it's possible. You just got to make a little bit of adjustments in your life. You know, cut back on the drinking, cut back on the fast food, eat a little bit better, exercise, check up on friends, and make sure that you're doing those right, proper, positive things to make sure if you're getting into the darkness that you can climb out, and that way that you can get back to being your normal self. Big facts. I'm going to be a big mental health advocate here, as well as an advocate for dogs and cats, puppies and kittens, and what they can do for your mental health. Paisley Pup is a big example for me. My life was in the gutter. I ended up getting her, and I have never felt better, physically and mentally in my entire life. Just about a year ago, I weighed 270. I'm down to 188 now. So if you're committed and you make the proper adjustments, cutting back on fast food, not drinking booze, and trying to exercise an hour and a half every single day, 7 days a week for a year, you can not only improve your mental mindset, but physicality as well. Big facts. Bottom of the fifth, 0-0, Mariners and Diamondbacks. 2-1 pitch to Garver on the corner for a strike, 2-2 count. Go, baby. Let's get some runs, baby. Let's get some hits. First place Mariners, let's go. 14-12 record. Garver! Yes! Go! Yes, sir. Trident's up. Let's go. Yes, sir. Let's go. Nice job, Scott. Exit velocity of 100.8. Nice stand-up double. Next up, left fielder, Luke Raley. Let's go, Luke. Thank you. I appreciate it. Things were tough for me. And I'll be honest, there was a point in my life, where I didn't know if I was going to be here. I'm dead serious, and some people have gotten to that point. Some people have thought about it. Some people have gotten close, and again, sometimes, we make these rash decisions, and I've had quite a few friends that have lost their lives in the last 2 years, probably about 5. And it's just sickening to me, to know that I'm not going to be able to see some of these people ever again until maybe after I'm not around anymore. Go! Bang! There we go. Slide in safe, even though he slid too early. Wow. That could have been a big debacle if that throw was on point. He would have definitely got thrown at home. But again, being able to get rid of toxic people in my life, not living with toxic people, getting a pup, exercising, changing my diet, trying to have more of a positive outlook. And also, this is my dream. This is a good outlet for a lot of people where we can express our feelings, our favorite teams, our players, our likes, our dislikes. But in bottom line, this is therapy, not only for people in the room, but for me. So being able to have somewhere safe where you can be a male or a female of any age, 10 to 90, and you can, pretty much be yourself here and not worry about getting bullied or trolled. I take a lot of pride in that. There's a lot of hosts that don't give a shit about the trolls and the vibe in the room, but that is something that I will always monitor and control, because the people that are a part of this channel are very important to me. If you want to troll and going to be a keyboard warrior, there's thousands of channels where you can do that at. But a lot of people, when they do that here, they learn real quick that they may have only one comment, and then that might be the end of them. So bottom of the fifth, 1-0 Mariners. Runner at first. Timo in the box. That was awesome right there to be able to get that going finally. Luke Raley singled to right. Garver scored, and I still wanted to be able to have some of our other backups get in there, but it shows you sometimes guys that are least expected to do anything end up being the heroes. Who would have thought Luke Raley in the 8-hole would be 2 for 2 with a bunt and an RBI and the guy to get us off the schneid to have a 1-0 lead? Nobody, not even myself. So let's go. Let's go, Demo. Let's keep it moving, baby. Good vibes only. Bottom of the fifth, 1-0 Mariners. Let's go. Runner at first, 1-2 pitch. Pitch is outside on the corner. Got him. Damn it. Ciccone, what are you doing, baby? Ciccone's trying to catch up too. Ciccone's got, 8 Ks? And then Kirby's got 9. Ciccone, I see you. Funny too, because I wasn't familiar with Ciccone, and there's a couple different pronunciations of it. I had to actually go online, and I was almost late because of it, because I take a lot of pride on trying to get the pronunciation right beforehand instead of looking like an idiot and having the pronunciation wrong. But even if it's someone I haven't heard of or I don't know, I like to be able to, ahead of time at least, go to Google, type it in, and then try to hear an audio track back. But again, sometimes it'll be the correct. Sometimes it'll be the other, depending on if, Google gets it right. Sometimes the internet will give you the right. Sometimes they give you the wrong. Lauren in the building. What's good? Yeah, man. Luke Rayleigh singled to right. Garver scored. And Garver getting a hit and a double to get us in that position, not as likely as most people think. Wow. Corbin Carroll covering the distance there. End of the fifth inning, but the damage is done as his hat flies off his head. 1-0 Mariners. Let's go. Thank you for sharing the stream, Lauren. I appreciate you. True North Trident on Twitter/X just liked and retweeted the live stream. Also, I appreciate that. The more people that we can get will be, obviously more people that we can get in the room to be able to support. Thank you so much. We got 5 people that have liked it on the Twitter/X. True North Trident, Matt, Megan, and Lauren, and then True North Trident as well. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all. Let's go. 1-0 Mariners. And I got my best friend is up there with his dad at this game and ended up going to yesterday's game. I told him, even though Emerson Hancock is pitching, I told him, don't be surprised if the game actually ends up being pretty good. I know he probably was wanting, Bryce Miller and Kirby or Castillo and Kirby, but I told him, I was like, you know what? It might end up being better than you think. And it ended up being amazing. Rojas solo dinger, right? Mitch Garver solo dinger. The first grand slam of the year, Mitch Haniger. Both Mitches went crazy, and then we ended up winning 6-1. So it may not be a 6-1 score here, but hopefully we can end up getting the dub, and we're hot, 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 baby. Let's go. Let's go. Next up for the Arizona Diamondbacks, take a look to see here in the top of the 6th. Leading off for the Diamondbacks, 0-for-1 with a base on ball and a K, right fielder Jake McCarthy. Batting second, left fielder Lourdes Gurriel Jr. And batting third, second baseman, the former Mariner, Ketel Marte. That was a hell of a run for defense there for Corbin Carroll. He covered the ground like Julio does. Impressive. And I know that he's slumping in the box, but you can always count on Corbin Carroll, a Pacific Northwest kid, to come out there on the defensive side, and I see you. Top of the order, Jake McCarthy, big swing and a miss. Kirby wheeling and dealing, baby. Fantastic game by George Kirby. 2-2 record with a 5.33 ERA. Keep it moving. Oh, shit. Popped up. Stay in play. Stay in play. Stay in play. All the way to the wall. And caught by Haniger. Unbelievable. Let's go. Haniger. Wow. Okay, Mitch. He said, let me go get that deep, deep foul ball, baby. Haniger. Nice job. We're at 20, 80 to go. Chop foul by Gurriel. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We got 20 on the YouTube side, 30 on the Twitter/X side, and we need 4 more people in the room. If they haven't smashed it yet, please do. It'll help us out. Now we need 3 more. Appreciate that. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss by Gurriel. 0-2 count. How do I feel about Drake May? Like I said, I feel with like Caleb and Jaden Daniels and Drake May, they may all pan out, right? They may all struggle. Maybe two of them pan out and maybe one of them doesn't. I mean, it's really too early to say, and then, JJ McCarthy, I feel that's probably the weakest, out of the six. I feel that like Michael Penix Jr. Is in the best situation out of all the quarterbacks. To me, he's the best, based on everything that I've seen, on projection and, trajectory in the NFL, highest ceiling, and based on the team that he's on. But I could also see, Bo with Troy Franklin having some type of success. But even if he doesn't, I could see Bo being like Baker Mayfield and panning out on his second or third team if it doesn't pan out in Denver. And then I think if I had to choose a third player, even though I have concerns, I'd probably say Caleb. They still need offensive line and defense, which concerns me a lot. But as far as like athleticism and extending the play, Caleb can do that. So I feel like Drake May, he's going to be a pocket guy, but New England doesn't really have a whole lot to work with. Offensive line, defense, running backs, wide receivers, tight end. So he's going to be kind of thrown into the fire like Jaden Daniels. So they might have some splash plays, but in reality, a lot of these guys that got drafted at quarterback are going to struggle. I don't know how many are going to actually pan out of the six. You might get two that pan out, two that fail, and two that pan out on their second or third team. You're not going to get all six panning out. 100%. That's not going to happen. And again, for Michael Penix Jr., we might not be able to see what he's got available until a year, 2 year, or 3 years from now. So we'll have to wait and see. But I still feel that he's in the best situation with the Atlanta Falcons. And they love brothers that are left-handed named Mike. Michael Vick, Michael Penix Jr. I think that's a pretty fair analysis. So, got him! Let's go! 10 Ks. Are you kidding me? That's good for my mental health. Let's go, baby. Yes, sir. 1-0 Mariners. Oh, George Kirby, let me see. Oh, you're an elite pitcher? Yes, you are. 6 innings pitched. 0 hits. 0 earned runs. 1 walk. 10 Ks. Ties a career high. Mariner Moose, what do you think about that? He says, I love it. Let's go. Let's go. Way to bring that electricity tonight. Yes. Mariner Moose loves it. Let's go. All right, let's see who's due up here next for the Seattle Mariners in the bottom of the 6th. When it was 0-0, and then when we ended up getting that RBI. Let's go. 1-0 Mariners. Joe Dirt approved. Leading off for the Mariners, 0 for 2. Let's make it 1 for 3. Center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Tridents up. Let's go, Julio. Batting second, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And batting third, right fielder, everyone's favorite, Mitch Haniga. Let's go. It's time to get some more insurance runs here. Let's get it. Braves series Monday through Wednesday. Woo! And we will be doing the rubber match at 1:10 tomorrow. It's a little early, but it's the last matchup, game number 3. And we're going to go Mariners Diamondbacks at 1. So that'll be early for you, Matt, at like 10 a.m. So let me know if you have any issues and if you got stuff that you need to do. But we got Logan Gilbert versus Fat. for the Diamondbacks, who's 1-1 with a 4.97 ERA. We can definitely beat Fat up. And then Logan Gilbert 2-0 with a 1.87. Julio pops up. Walker, one away, 0 for 3 for Julio so far. Come on, J-Rod. Moose is up. Yes, sir. And I'll be watching also NASCAR Cup as well, because I love me some NASCAR. I know not everyone in this room loves NASCAR as much as me, but we're at Dover, baby, and it's on at 11, so I'll be watching that first with Paisley, and then we'll be getting into the Mariners and Diamondbacks, and hopefully we can sweep. Let's go. Tenor. Moose is up, baby. I got you. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. $10 holla. Let's go. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Reflect is helping out. He's supporting the cause. Appreciate you, brother. Go, Big Dumper. We need you, Ty. I need you to get your home runs in order, baby. Cal pops it off foul. And as we got to get Ty France and get him in that flow, in that groove. You know, certain players, it took a little bit longer to find themselves, but at least we got a 300 hitter, you know, in the lineup in Josh Rojas. Come on, Cal. 1-2 pitch. Pitch is high. 2-2 count. We're at 30. 70 to go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Appreciate you, Matt, doing a fantastic job. Let's go, Dumper. Chopper towards first. If that Dumper wasn't big, maybe he gets to first. If it was medium Dumper or small Dumper, maybe he gets there. 2 away. Man, I'm excited for Dover. Woo! Let's go. And then for anyone that even cares, if you do care or not, if you follow the NBA, some of us do, some of us don't really care, but Magic 112, Cavs 89, Thunder 106, Pelicans 85, Celtics 104, Heat 84, and Lakers finally won a game and didn't get swept, 119-108 over the Nuggets. Now on the NHL playoff side, we got Stars and Golden Knights knotted up at 0. Vegas up 2-0 in that series. Islanders 3, Hurricanes 2 in double overtime. Carolina's up 3-1 in that series. Lightning 6, Panthers 3. Florida up 3-1 in that series. And Bruins 3, Maple Leafs 1. And Boston is up 3-1 in that series. Popped up and he's out. And we're at the end of the 6th inning. Damn it, Haniger. All right, let's get some more Mariner Moose up here. And then we'll go into the top of the 7th. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Shout out to Reflect. Always coming through, showing mad love and support. Third time in Kirby's career with 10. Let's go. go, George. Let's break your career record here tonight on the NWSF. Let's do it. Can you imagine if he goes and he strikes out the side and gets 13? I mean, hell, even 11 and 12 is impressive. You don't see a lot of guys, can get over 10. Like, it's almost like a kryptonite. Like, it's like you shoot for 10, but most pitchers can't get there. And when they do, it's usually 8 or 9 or 10. Very rare to see a pitcher, regardless of where he's at in the rotation, 1 through 5, to get 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You just don't really see it anymore. Back in the day, it was a little more common, maybe in the steroid era. Maybe that's why. But as of right now, you don't see more than 10 Ks that often. 2-1 count. Let's go, George. Right down the middle for a strike, 2-2 count. Let's go. Gabe Spire, who's been absolutely electric. I thought we were going to be really struggling without Matt Brash, but you know what? I really like Gabe. And it's all about consistency. Taylor Saucedo, not so much. But Gabe Spire, yes, please. Give me some Gabe. Check swing, did he go? 3-2 count. Count is full. Come on, George. Smoke his ass. Walker, get it. There we go. 1 away. Trident's up. Good defense there by Luke Raley. Sorry, Christian. Another day. Next up for the Diamondbacks, someone I know he can strike out and punch out, DHing Jock Peterson. Yeah, a lot of the players that really have started to turn it around. It's kind of funny, how many Mariner fans were like willing to hop off the ship and just start bitching and moaning and complaining, And again, sometimes you have to look at the big vision and the big picture and not look at the small picture. You have to look at what we're doing, but you also have to compare us compared to what other teams are doing in the division. Yeah, the record might be 500, but maybe 500 is first place. Maybe there's other teams that like Houston that only have a couple wins and almost 20 losses. So again, a lot of times when the record isn't 15-5, everyone freaks out. Of course, 14-14 isn't ideal, but sometimes a 14-14 can be first place in a division this early. So again, it's all about mindset and being positive and understanding that things are gonna get better. And we don't even have Sam Haggerty yet. We don't have Brash yet. We're not even going. We're not even full throttle yet, and imagine once we get JP back, things are going to get better and better and better. And, Mariners are going for the AL West title. I don't give a shit what anyone says. We're good enough this year, and we were good enough last year and the year before. We're there. We don't got to worry about Houston anymore. But Texas, we got to give respect to them. They won the World Series last year, but we're not intimidated by them. We know we can beat them. And I think that's the mindset, Got him! Let's go! 11 Ks, a career high. Yes. On that slider, baby. Nice job, George. I like being able to watch history with you guys together instead of me screaming at the TV and then having the neighbors hear me or people in the house telling me to be quiet because I'm being too loud and I'm scaring people. So it's always nice when we can watch these games together and I can watch history unfold in front of my very eyes. 11 Ks. Now we got Gino. Let's make it 12. I love you, Gino. Good vibes only. But hey, you're not on our team anymore, and I want this 12 K for George Kirby. Let's go. Big swing and a miss ahead of the count, 0-2. Come on, George. Let's go, baby. Eugenio Suarez in the box. Pitches outside, 1-2 count. Come on, baby. You know what to do. 1-2 pitch to Suarez. Trident's up. Let's go. History made in front of our very eyes. And I always remember where I am when I watch history. And I also remember who I'm with, when I'm watching these games. And it's kind of a cool thing, when you look back, like on your childhood, when you used to listen to the radio for like different songs or, and you remember where you were when you heard that song or when you watched that movie or that cartoon or that show. I have those same kind of memories based off like wrestling matches and then big statistical things that happen in the NBA, MLB, NHL, and the NFL, as well as college football. And we're seeing something special tonight with George Kirby. Let's go. Let's go. 12 Ks. And again, it's very rare to even get to 10 nowadays. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to up my career high by 2, and I'm at 12, baby. Mariner Moose, he loves it. Fucking we love it. Nice job, George. Way to be. Way to be. Yes, sir. Nice job, George. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2, switch hitter, second baseman, Jorge Polanco. Let's go, Jorge. You've been struggling, my guy. Batting second, first baseman, Ty France. And batting third, DHing for Seattle, Mitch Garver. My buddy and his dad are there for his birthday. They got to see a grand salami, Rojas and Garv homers as well. And then now, even though it's a pitching duel, right, with Saccone and obviously George Kirby, they combined for how many Ks? 20. My friend is going to remember this for like the rest of his life. And not only that, they got 90 throwback neon hats or, little throwback hats. And then they got the Ken Griffey Jr. Turn back the clock jerseys yesterday. So very, very excited for 90s night tonight. And we're bringing something special here tonight. 1-0 Mariners. Slade and Blade. I know, pretty cool. When I was bringing up the names, I was like, wow, pretty cool. Blaze and Slade. My buddy just messaged me. I'm like, man, I'm jealous you're there. Polanco chop foul. Yeah, Slade and Blaze. Not Blade, Blaze. Like the Portland Trailblazers mascot, Blaze. Let's go, Polanco. And now we got Jarvis in for, and now we should be able to start raking on Jarvis. Jarvis has got a 4.20 ERA, so we should be able to get into some type of rhythm here, and maybe we can end up winning this game, 3-0, 4-1, something of that nature. Let's go, baby. Come on, Polanco. Go, Jorge. Which is outside, 3-2 count. Oh yeah, bro. He is. I mean, I ended up checking out a little bit of the spring game as well for the Ducks, seeing the depth that we have. We're gonna be good. That's all I gotta say. We're gonna be able to compete with anybody in the country. We're gonna be good. I'm not saying that we're gonna win a natty next year, but again, the goal is to try to win one while Lanning is there in the next 5 to 10 years. Easier said than done. But it wouldn't surprise me in the next 5 to 10 years if we make a natty appearance. Maybe we'll lose like the Huskies did, but at least getting there would be huge, just to show that we have that talent. But of course, the ultimate dream is the Mariners to win a World Series, and then for me and Matt, the Ducks to be able to win a natty. So Yeah, he's totally stoked. Everyone is stoked about it, bro. Quarterback, wide receiver combo playing together. It's like playing with your best friend, and going through the trials and tribulations together. There's going to be good moments. There's going to be bad moments. But when shit hits the fan and goes bad for Bo or Troy, they can console each other and be there for each other, be a brother, be a friend, and that'll help them succeed and be better in the NFL rather than being on separate teams and having to go through the journey alone. So I really like the pick. They didn't pick him too high. He actually got picked a little too low, in my opinion. And they had like 14 or 15 receivers that went ahead of him. And the number one reasoning that they said, supposedly, experts-wise, that he slid is because of his weight. But Xavier Worthy doesn't fucking weigh that much either. But, of course, he went super high, has more speed than Troy Franklin. But it's not like if you weigh 170 or 175 or 180, you can't put on 10 or 15 pounds of weight in a year or two. You can. Shit, look at me. I was a fat ass, and I lost like 90 pounds in a year. You can do it if you believe in yourself and you have discipline. You got discipline, you can make it happen. You can be a fat ass, and then you can turn into healthy, right? So there we go. So again, I think Troy definitely should have been drafted higher, but he'll have a chip on his shoulder. But think about this. Troy going into like the 3rd round or 4th round on some shit team, or going late and feeling a little shitty about it, but then realizing you get to play with Bo, it all makes it worth it, France, tie, oh my! We're opening it up, baby. Like I said, you know what it is. We need Ty France to get that homer. I said that last inning, and here it is. Back. Gone. Exit velo 108.8. 3-0 Mariners. Let's go. Yes, sir. Hey, sometimes you got to talk it into existence and let him know through the vibes, right? Through the energy in the air. We need you. There we go. Nice job, Ty. Trident's up. Fuck yeah. Home run in 2 out of the last 3 games, and he was one of the last starters to get his first one. And sometimes all you need to do to get off the schneid is get that first, and then that second one will come, and the 3rd and the 4th. Let's go. Hey now. Viva la France. Mitch Garber. Let's go. 0-2 count. Behind in the count. Let's go, Mitch. Yeah, and I got 10th row seats off first base on July 4th versus the Orioles. So I'm going to do everything in my power without knocking any kids over to try to get my buddy a ball. Because, again, he's been to over 100 baseball games with his dad and me, in L.A. or in Seattle, and he has never gotten close to getting a ball. But, again, I'm more of a honey badger than him. So, even if that means I get a ball, thrown into the stands after the inning ends, and usually J.P. Crawford is the one that does it, but now he's hurt, so I don't know who's going to be doing it on July 4th. But even if it's getting a ball after the inning ends and they throw it into the Mariner crowd, that's still a ball. So, I'm going to do everything in my power. And then if I can get that, then obviously trying to get like an Adley Rutschman ball, since I already have quite a few Mariner. I got a Julio ball, I got an Aaron Judge ball, I got a Kike Hernandez ball. I think, getting an Adley Rutschman foul ball would be insane. But, I guess it doesn't really matter who it is. If you get a ball, you get a ball. But if you get a ball from a superstar, even cooler, right? So, let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go. 3-0 Mariners. Just like that. It was 1-0. Ty France went yard. He went back, gone, baby. So first, Luke Raley singled to right. Garver scored right in the bottom of the 5th. And then France homered to left center. 4-10. Motherfucker raked it. Polanco scored 3-0. Mariners. Viva la France. Nice job, Ty. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Mariner Moose, it's those vibes, man. They can feel that energy through the air. But I'm super stoked to see the Orioles, especially now that they're good. Small market Seattle, small market Baltimore. Both of us are kicking ass, taking names. And, I'm going to do everything in my power to get a souvenir for my buddy. So, I mean, even if that means I end up, getting a Julio ball again, I already got one. So, I'm going to try whatever. But normally 10 to 15 rows back, and probably you don't want to go as far back as maybe the farthest back you want to go is like 18 to 20. But if you go past that, the chance of getting a ball is a lot lighter and slimmer. So Luke Raley grounds out to first, 2 away. And normally we're smart. We get seats in the aisle, and I'll be in the aisle. So that way I'll run up and down the aisle if needed. So that way I'll have more flexibility where I can position myself in the right spot, not just being in the middle of a row where I only have like a foot in each direction. That's how I got the Aaron Judge ball. But I got the Julio ball on the aisle, and I got the Kike Hernandez ball 3rd seat in. But again, as long as I have a section where I can get to the aisle if I'm not already sitting there, then that increases our chances of getting a ball like 1,000-fold. Because then I can, go up and down 5 different, seat aisles, based on how fast I move. And I usually don't get too faded. I'm not on my phone. I'm not eating out of the nacho helmet, during that time. We eat before, even though we'll eat during the game. And again, if you act quick, you can get a ball. It's a split second. But if you're not acting and you're on your phone or you're drinking, you're not going to get a ball ever. So big swing and a miss for Demo, 1-2 count. The Antlers brought us the vibe. You guys did too. Chop foul for Demo. Count still 1-2. Power of the Antlers, baby. It's real. Demo knows it. Big swing and a miss. Punched him out. Damn it. All right, we got 20 likes. If anyone hasn't smashed the like button, now 21. We need 4 more to hit the goal. 4 more people to smash the like button if you haven't done it, and that'll get us to 25. We're at 21 right now, and then we're at 30 in donuts. Reflect, you want anything photo-wise as we're starting to get into the groove now? We're in the end of the 7th. We're in the top of the 8th. We're up 3-0. We might end up getting a shutout here. Let's go. Hockey from home in the building. What's good? He said another. John Park says another point, another run. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible that the Diamondbacks get on the board before the game is over, and it's also very possible the Mariners put up 1 or 2 more runs before the game is over as well in these last 2 innings. But it is also very possible that the game ends at a 3-0 score. So we'll have to wait and see. Throwback for us. Other channels, they're not going to be doing what I do here. We have to be original here with the baseball cards and the photos, right? And if anyone does it, they copied, right? It's a copycat league, they say, in sports. The same thing happens as a streamer, People get jealous. People get jealous of Elon. Let's go. Nobody's going to go deeper and breakdowns, analysis, photos, or anything in between than us here. You're going to see things you've never seen before or you haven't seen in quite a while. It's crazy to see some of the pitchers that we've had, like Logan Gilbert and George Kirby, and you're like, where did they come from? But it shows you can find talent in many, many places, especially in the baseball world. Seven innings, 2 hits, no runs, no earned runs, 1 walk, 12 Ks, 23 whiffs on 57 swings, a 40% whiff rate. Man, let's go. $23 whiffs. Bro. Unbelievable. Now we got Stanek in. He gets Gabriel Moreno. We'll make sure we're giving the Diamondbacks the proper love, too. 0 for 2, catcher Gabriel Moreno. And now, statistically, remember that stat that I showed you early on with like how the Mariners are doing with the pitching? And obviously the hitting is starting to get better as well. We just keep climbing and climbing and climbing now with statistical categories. And that prediction between me and Reflect of winning 95 to 105 games actually looks like if we can keep it rolling, that we might get that number. Like somewhere, it might be closer to my number. If things get really crazy in summer, it might get closer to Reflect's number, right? Or it might be somewhere in between, maybe 100, but I think that if we hit 95, 100, or 105, I think me and Reflect and Lauren and any Mariner fan, we're going to be ecstatic, especially if that means that we're in first place. And it shows you how important pitching and bullpen and chemistry, are, to a team. You got to have the right players at the right time, and you got to have guys that believe. But at the end of the day, hitting can get better. But again, not many teams can manufacture pitching like us. Let's go. Moreno struck out swinging. Good night. Stanek says good night. Next up, center fielder in the 8-hole, Corbin Carroll. That's very shocking to see someone as good as him struggling this bad in the 8-hole, but it is what it is. I mean, it's better for us, right, that he's not doing well. Corbin Carroll popped up. Julio, no fly zone. 2 away. Who's that guy? Julio Rodriguez. He's kind of good. And as bad as, JP and Julio and Polanco were early, that almost is like a distant memory. Remember how we were bitching and moaning and complaining all three were batting 150? Now, JP started to heat up, and then he got hurt. Polanco still is struggling, but then Julio heated up, and then it rubbed off on Cal Raleigh and a few of the others. And now we're starting to get the Mitches going. You're starting to see guys that you normally wouldn't count on, like Luke Raley. Even he's stepping up. So, again, I'm still wanting a little bit more of Jonathan Clase, but again, hopefully we end up seeing him tomorrow. Blaze Alexander, what a name. Pitches outside, 0-2 count. Sorry, Blaze. Cool first name. Blaze. Blaze or Blade. Maybe Blade would have been even cooler, like Lauren said. Blade Alexander. Sounds like a gangster. Blaze Alexander. That sounds good too, but Blade would be even cooler. Hi, my name is Blade Alexander. But Blaze would be pretty cool in school too. That's kind of a swaggy name. 0-2 pitch. Oh my God. Stanek throwing into the dirt. Going all the way to Tacoma. What was that? He said, Stanek, get off the mound and get back to doing my taxes. I don't know. Your tax guy got mullet hair? That's interesting. I didn't know guys with mullets could do taxes. I guess mullet guys can do anything, right? He looks like he would be a country star or like a bodyguard at like a country bar. The only guys I trust in Canada, right? For different styles and whatnot. Do you see a lot of people where you live that rock the mullet, that rep the Blue Jays or Mariners or just like, fans in general, like sports fans? You see the mullet look in Canada? Is it big? Is it popular? 99 miles an hour, high, just out of the zone. Count is full. See, with Stanek, I wish that he would throw not as fast and have a little bit more location. He just throws it like he's trying to throw the ball through the glove of Cal Raleigh, and a lot of times it's not accurate. It's like, I get you want that top-end speed, but again, if the hitter hits it correctly, it's going to be a home run. And that's a shit that I worry about when they have pitchers like that. I want guys that have a little bit, hitting their spots. Like instead of going 99, how about 94 and you get it right in the right perfect spot on the corner, But again, some of these guys can do it and some of them can't, Some of them are, positional throwers, and some guys, can't hit the zone, just like right there with Stanek. Fucking Alexander Walk, damn it. Where's Gabe Spire at, damn it? Where's Gabe? We should have had Gabe in here instead of Stanek. Gabe and then Munoz. What were we thinking? Next up, right fielder, Jake McCarthy. Maybe they're going to have Gabe tomorrow. Again, we have a 3-game set, so rubber match tomorrow at 1:10. I'll be streaming. So I'm going to watch Dover at 11 with Paisley, wake up super early, do some research, and then we'll end up doing the game at 1, and I'm going to be excited for that. And it looks like we might end up trying to sweep this particular team. Really? Awesome. If I had hair, I would grow a mullet. I used to have anime hair back when I was younger. Like if I showed you pictures from when I had hair, like in the high school time and whatnot, like junior high school, I had like the super Asian long bangs. Like I had it like shaved on the side and then like short on the top, maybe like a 4. And then I had super long bangs, slicked it back and had it like come down. I had the fucking dope hair, bro. Like back in the day, like, me and all the other, Asian sensation car guys with the Acuras and the Hondas and the Supras, we all have the anime Asian hair and whatnot. And then I even got to a point where I dyed it blonde and then I had it go back. Like I looked like some fucking anime guy. Dragon Ball Z hair. 0-2 pitch to McCarthy into the dirt. Come on, Stanek. You tried it back in 03? Yeah, for me, this was way back in the day. I mean, we're talking about like 95, 97, 98, 99, 2000, like around that time. So like 95 to 2000, I had like the anime hair. McCarthy, back. Over his head. Haniger, bad positioning there. Fuck. One run scored. Why is Stanek in, damn it? 3-1. And like I mentioned earlier, hey, is it going to stay the same? John is like, are they going to score? Well, there it is. You bring in the wrong relief pitcher, and then that happens, right? So, again, it looks like you're in firm control. You're going to win the game. Then you got a guy that's throwing wild, right, and can't hit the strike zone. They hit it right on the sweet spot. Haniger out of position. Could have been out of the inning there. And instead of being 3-0, now it's 3-1. Nice effort there by the Diamondbacks. Nice effort there by Jake McCarthy. Next up, left fielder Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Stanek needs to go to the bullpen and hit the showers. He said, my T4, he said, my form, my W90 form ain't going to get filed by itself. Get out of there, my guy. Stanek, boo. Yeah, but also, too, he, set a career high, right? And he was already at 95 pitches. So usually they have a pitch count of 90 to 100, and he had 12 Ks. So you don't want a guy to injure his arm by just going one more inning. But he did get his ERA down to 4.18, which is fantastic. But if we would have put in Gabe Spire, another reliever, maybe that doesn't happen. So. But again, yeah. But sometimes when you have guys rolling, it would be cool to see pitchers go later. But it's very rare to see guys go past the 6th inning nowadays, let alone the 7th, the 8th, or 9th, where they go the whole game. Like the way that baseball is, it's not like when we grew up, Jamie, with like Sandberg and Nolan Ryan and back in the steroid era, where you would see Nolan Ryan start the game and Nolan Ryan would end the game. It just doesn't exist anymore. You're not going to see that unless, they're ready for a complete game, a perfect game where it's like a no-hitter. Then they may allow the player to do it. But unless you're about to do something statistically amazing, they're going to pull you. So, but the damage was done, 3-1, but at least it looks like we're still in control. But again, yeah, Scott Service definitely has, I would say, tendencies to pull too early, but you could say that by a lot of managers in Major League Baseball where they pull guys too early or too late, and then it ends up costing the team the game. So, but again, It's just like Nolan Ryan was an alien. 1968, 1993, 4 different decades, never had a Tommy John, right? It's just crazy. And I believe he never won a Cy Young. It's just ridiculous. But he has the most no-hitters, 1-hitters, 2-hitters, 3-hitters, 4-hitters, 5-hitters in Major League Baseball history, over 5,000 Ks, and his arm never fell off. I don't understand how, but, I guess when you're out from, Earth, then that's how it happens. But we're in the bottom of the 8th. We're still up 3-1, and let's keep it moving. Mariner Moose. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 3 with a K, third baseman Josh Hollywood Rojas. Batting second, 0 for 3. Let's make it 1 for 4. No fly zone. J-Rod, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. And batting third, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. See, that's rare. All 3 of them are 0 for 3. There's no way in hell all 3 are going to end 0 for 4. Big dumper, catcher, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Mariner Moose. Shout out to all the people watching in the room, as well as the people watching on Twitter/X. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Help us out with our algorithm and our metrics. It'll definitely help us. We got 22 people watching on the tube, and then 40 plus watching on the Twitter/X side. We got 61 in the room right now. We need 3 more people on the YouTube side to smash the like button, and that'll get us to our goal, and that'll get us to 25. So if you haven't smashed it yet, please do. Greatly appreciated. Josh Rojas, 300 average, 2 homers and 5 ribbies, number 1 on the Mariners, and he has been all season. Bottom of the 8th, 3-1, Seattle. Come on, Rojas. Let's go, Hollywood. J-Row. Chopper towards first. Easy out for Walker, 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, center fielder, 0 for 3. Julio Rodriguez. Trident's up. They're making a pitching change. Let me check. I don't think so, but you never know. Let me check my Venmo and my Cash App. Sometimes magically things go in there. But most of the time, if someone does something on those, they'll tell me. Because if I'm, I don't usually try to ignore, anything. But if I'm calling a game and I'm multitasking, clicking fucking buttons like a madman, and then trying to give you guys a great stream, sometimes things slip through the cracks. But most of the time, if it goes past like 5 minutes, usually someone will say something. But no, we don't got anything in there yet. But we're still time before the game is over to see if we can get a little more. Yeah, Stanek, boo. Should have went with Gabe Spire. Gabe would have been able to get those guys out. He's been money. Rojas, 295. He just dips under 300, damn it. Julio's at 276. Raleigh, 238. Haniger, 239. Polanco is the one that's really struggling, 159. France, 259. Garver, 151. He's struggling. Rayleigh, 204 after going 2 for 3 today. Good job. And then Demo falling under 200 at 196. So thank God our pitching has just been money, money, money. And for all those people that thought after the first 10 games that the Mariners starting 5 wasn't going to be top 5 like everyone projected, now you look at the next 13, 14, 15 games after that rough start, you could argue we got the best pitching staff in baseball. Like, we're right there with anybody else, 1 through 5. And again, after Emerson Hancock gets replaced by Brian Wu, and if Brian Wu can throw up a couple 10K games, we got good depth. We still need Castillo to get going, but you got Castillo, you got Kirby, right? You got Logan Gilbert, right? You got Bryce Miller, Emerson Hancock, and Brian Wu. That's pretty fucking solid. This is the best pitching staff the Mariners have ever had, 1 through 6, in my opinion. I mean, we've had moments where we've had guys like Randy Johnson, but we haven't really been able to pair him up with like this type of talent, with others. So, all right, let's go, Julio. Trident's up. Let's go. Bottom of the 8th, 3-1 Mariners. Kevin Ginkel on the mound. And Julio Rodriguez ends up in the box. Oh, it almost hit him. 2-0 count. And again, make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. Depression, addiction, anxiety are tough. We go through these things on the daily. Make sure that you're getting yourself in the right position to win the day. You know, whether that means exercise a little bit more, cut back on the booze and the partying, eat a little bit better. You'd be really surprised if you cut back on the garbage food, eat a little bit better, exercise a little bit, right? You'll feel so much better mentally and physically. Yeah, we started off slow, but we've been really hot like the last 10, 15 games, 10, 12 games, something like that. It started with the Cincinnati series when we swept them, when we brought up Jonathan Classic. Prior to that, we sucked. You know, we weren't hitting, we weren't pitching. You know, hitting for power, terrible. Singles hitting, terrible. Pitching, starting, terrible. Bullpen, terrible. Closer, terrible. Everything was terrible. And then everything started to get better. But I think really the spark was Jonathan Classic. Come on, Julio, take a walk. Don't swing. Good eye, good eye. There we go. If this was last year, the year before, or his rookie year, oh, you bet your ass he would have swung on that. Good eye, Julio. Julio to first. Next up, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Takes a pitch right down the middle for a strike. Come on, Cal. Trident's up, maybe. One of my favorite players, Cal Raleigh. 238 average, 6 homers, 13 ribbies. And he ended up hitting that home run that got us into the playoffs for the first time in 20-plus years. I went to eBay, I bought his rookie card auto on that night. I knew. I was like, yep. I was like, this is time. And it's still to this day the only non-graded card I've ever bought off eBay for an auto. And because they never had a graded version of the card, the only ones I was able to find is a ungraded version, and it's definitely picking up steam and value as we speak. Let's go. I like underrated positions like catcher too. You know, just like offensive line in football, defense, special teams, the guys that don't necessarily get all the love and credit, right out of the gates. I like guys like that, and I love me some Cal Raleigh. 0-2 pitch. Popped up, chopped foul. We need Gregory Santos back too. Woo and Brash and Sam Haggerty. We can't forget about Ham Swaggerty too, because he gives us that juice, on the bases, decent defense, can fly around the bags like Jonathan Clase and Julio, right? And every once in a while, we'll get you a clutch RBI or a random homer that you don't expect sometimes to, either tie the game up or to win the game. So I like being able to see the depth on the roster. But one thing I will say, I still do miss Tom Murphy and Mike Ford. I wish they were still on the roster. Getting rid of Gino, getting rid of Kelenic, getting rid of Teoscar, I'm fine with that. But we should have kept Tom Murphy and we should have kept Mike Ford. But it is what it is. But if we can get Mitch Garver to start hitting and playing better, then I won't be talking about Mike Ford. But still, Tom Murphy, Sebi Zavala has done all right, but Murphy's better. I would have rather had him. He brought you that juice and energy. Bottom of the 8th, 3-1 Marinez, runner at first. Ginkle on the mound. Cal Raleigh 0 for 3. Let's make it 1 for 4. 3-2 in the box. Brash is indefinitely shut down. Are you serious? Don't lie. What happened? They have a report? What happened? Do you have a setback on his comeback? That's horrible news. Out for the rest of the year? Or what are we talking? Jacob in the building. Guardians in the building. What's good? Congratulations on your fast start to the season. Julio, 7 for 8 in stolen bags this season. Hell yeah, dude. Good job, bro. And, and with no Shane Bieber fever with the, the Tommy John, again, Stephen Kwan and company, I've always kind of admired the Cleveland Indians and the Guardians. It might be a team the Mariners will face in the playoffs, at some point or another. But congratulations, man. You guys are playing very, very well. And he got Julio at second. Damn it. Unbelievable. There goes the 8th inning. strikeout and a throw out on Julio. Terrible. Well, at least we still have a 2-hour lead. Four hours ago. So when they say indefinitely, what other information did they say? Did they have any other details? Is it shoulder? Is it AC joint? What is it? Elbow inflammation? Like what are we talking? That sucks. But luckily, we have other guys like Gabe Spire that can take the brash role. Like as soon as the starting pitcher goes out, give me Gabe. You know what I mean? And then hopefully Stanek can be better than he was tonight, and then we can rotate between a couple guys, and then we obviously got Munoz at the end. But damn it, that's not good news. Maybe we can trade for a bullpen guy before the trade deadline to give us that extra depth if Brash is out for the year. If that is the case. End of the 8th inning, 3-1 Mariners, and we're going to win this game, damn it. Go to the top of the 9th. Last opportunity here for the Diamondbacks. Next up for the Diamondbacks, Munoz is coming in, so we should be able to smoke him here. Leading off, second baseman, the former Mariner, Ketel Marte. Batting second, first baseman in the cleanup role, Christian Waka. And batting third, DHing for Arizona, Jock Peterson. Got to get my Munoz photos here set. Let's go, Andres. I got the fire ones. We got the cream jerseys that are fire. We got the old school gray, which is one of my favorite. They need to bring the grays back. And then we got the blues. Let's go, baby. That's when he's on the mound. That's when he's about to pitch. And that's after he gets the K. Let's go. It's a thought-out process here on NWSF. Yeah, I say I like Stanek. You know what I mean? He just didn't do good today, but I do like him. Just unfortunate that mullet, that mullet juice, that Jerry curl juice, that mullet juice was getting in his eyes or something because, his control was not very good. Yeah, I assume that we play you guys again. I mean, it's 162 games, Jacob. So, you guys had good luck against us the first time around, but we're going to get you back next time around. Let's go, Andres. Like, sub, don't comment, share. Help your boy out. Let's see if we hit our 25 yet. Popped up to Julio. There we go. No fly zone. One away. We need one more person in the room to hit the goal. So if you haven't smashed the like button, just do it for your boy. All right, we just got somebody. Thank you so much. We hit 25. We need 5 more to get to 30. So anything above this is gravy. Thank you so much. And then we're at, what are we at on donos? 30? Got 70 to go. Nice job by Andres Munoz forcing that pop-up. I see you, my dude. Let's go. Next up, Christian Waka, which is inside for a ball, 1-0 count. Let's go, baby. Whoa. Went around there, 1-1 count. How is Paul Sewald doing, Reflect? Have you looked at his numbers to see how he's doing as a closer for the Diamondbacks? I normally try to keep up on all the former Mariners stats with Teoscar and Kelenic and Eugenio Suarez and Sewald, but I haven't looked at Sewald's numbers lately. Is he doing good or is he doing shitty? I would assume that they're probably not that good of numbers because the Diamondbacks have been struggling. I mean, they're 12-15, 5-9 on the road. So I assume that his numbers probably aren't as good as they were hoping. And obviously he got rocked in the World Series. So hopefully that's not carrying over for his performance here in 2024. Top of the 9th, 3-1 Mariners, 1-2 pitch. Got him baited. Yes. Nice slider off the plate. He baited him, baby. Yeah. Mariner Moose, 2 away. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Bringing that electricity. Chopped it off his own foot. Jock Peterson, 0-1 count. Oh, yeah, and one thing I wanted to bring up, too, prayers up for all the people in the Midwest with all those tornadoes. It came up on a lot of my timelines today. Some people obviously have passed and lost a lot with their vehicles and their homes. Prayers up for all the people in the Midwest that were hurt in Nebraska and beyond, with all those tornadoes. There's a reason why I don't live in the Midwest. For that reason alone. I grew up here in the West Coast. I'm going to probably live and die here in the West Coast, but man, those people that live in the Midwest, God bless you. I don't think I could do it. Some areas in the country, like even though I'm a Tampa fan, I don't think I could live in Florida, and I definitely couldn't live in the Midwest. That shit is scary as hell. Anytime I see a fucking video of those big ass tornadoes or there's storm chasers, and I had one on my timeline where a truck was going to capture the footage, and a semi truck fucking crashed right in front of him, and if he didn't swerve to the right, he would have died. Big swing and a miss, 2-2 count. Los Bomberos, baby. Well, the stream is almost going to be over, Matt. We're already at the end of the game here. But if you want to dip out and eat your dinner, go right ahead. Top of the ninth, 3-1 Mariners. 2-2 pitch from Andres Munoz. Popped up. Get it, baby. Try to up. We won 4 consecutive series, starting with the Cincinnati Reds. Is that good? You bet your ass it is. And what happens when the Mariners win? What happens? We dance, baby. Mariners win. Mariners win. Mariners win. Final score, Mariners 3, Diamondbacks 1, 4 straight series won. And guess what? We play them tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I will be here. I can't wait. Oh, baby. I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of their night. I appreciate you guys very, very much. I'm going to go take Paisley for a walk. I have to eat dinner as well. We'll get some more photos. Is there any photos that you guys want to see at this point? Otherwise, I can pump some of those out tomorrow. But it's been a really long 3 days with the NFL draft. Round 1, NFL draft, rounds 2 and 3. Reflect, anything that you want to see before I go? You let me know. And I'll get some Tay-Tay photos for Matt tomorrow. The power is in the antlers. It really is. Let's go, baby. Even though Stanek kind of fucked it up there for a second, but we found a way. And that's what we do. We found a way, huh? 15-12 record. That's pretty fucking good. No problem. I appreciate you. Hopefully that you'll come back. Hopefully I've earned your sub. I hope you like the presentation and the people in the room. We got a lot of really good quality people that would give their shirt off their back if they could. I really try to limit the trolls and the people that are trying to bait people and be assholes. I really try to have a safe place for men and women. 40, like half of the fan base is over 40, half of the fan base is under 40, and I think we have a 10 to 15% ratio for females on the channel too, which is nice. So that way we have a nice, range of men and women in the room. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. Reflect, anything you want to see? Moose, before we go? And if there's anything else you want to see, you let me know. Otherwise, I'll be here tomorrow at 1 o'clock for the rubber match, last game between the Diamondbacks and the Mariners. And my buddy Justin got to see 2 Mariner wins. He's with his dad. They're going to head back to the hotel, and then they're going to end up driving back tomorrow. So really happy that he got to celebrate his birthday with 2 Mariner wins. Mariner Moose, baby. Let's go. Anything else you want to see, Reflect? Or are you good? All right. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Final score, Mariners 3, Diamondbacks 1. And again, I will be live tomorrow at 1 o'clock for the last match. Lauren, Reflect, Jamie, glad to have you. Matt, and everybody else, I love you guys, and I appreciate you. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Okay.